Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. In today's episode, we are going to be talking about some exciting stuff. Obviously, you have heard about the Queen of Saliva, aka Mate Mate, who happens to be Amos Chanda's sister. Apparently, there was a case, and a lot of things were discussed, and some questionable things happened. And this is one of the reasons why a lot of eyebrows were raised in Zambia. So this is what we are going to be talking about. And then we also have another story with regards to the lifestyle audit as far as the top senior, or rather the senior PF members are concerned, because we have Bizwell Mutale, who happens to be ironically from the Patriotic Front, right? He is demanding for the need of these, top PF members to be sort of audited, because he doesn't want everybody who belongs to PF to be lumped and sort of considered to be questionable, if I can put it that way. And then we're also going to be talking about, the recent. I don't know, something that happened with regards to Bowman Lusambo going back in parliament. He is back in parliament, just like I told you, right? He isn't called Die Hard for nothing. So Bowman Lusambo never waited in parliament, and he is obviously doing what he does best in parliament. So I remember a few days ago, right, a lot of Zambians were celebrating, and there was a lot of euphoria in the city of Ndola. But Bowman Lusambo is back. So yeah, this is what we are going to be talking about. And we are also going to be talking to a very interesting Zambian who happens to be very innovative. He has created a water filtering and purification gadget, which is very cheap, very affordable. And Z Corner is all about entrepreneurship, innovation, and all that good stuff. But before we get to the innovative aspect of Z Corner, I just want to play this interesting a report from the Queen of Saliva. So let's just listen to this. Very interesting. So let's listen to this report.
And that testimony kept the atmosphere of the courtroom quiet, where the drop of water from a bottle could be clearly heard even from a distance. This isn't a matter in which former Republican President Edgar Lungu's former press advisor, Amos Chanda, his wife Mebo Nakaundi Chanda, and sister-in-law Ruth Nakaundi are dragged to court by the Anti-Corruption Commission for allegedly causing a such obstruction of justice and for using offensive language towards ACC officers. When the matter came up for continued trial.
Before we continue watching this, remember to share this video. Share this video right now on your timeline and in 5 different Facebook pages, because we need to get the numbers up. So come on, people, share this video.
ACC investigator Lomtuzi Billy said the officers broke the locking system of 2 rooms where the trio had resisted and denied the officer entry despite presenting the search warrant to them. Ms. Billy says after minimum force was used to open the door for a one self-contained room, Mr. Chanda's sister-in-law told them that only women can enter the room and no men were allowed to do so. She instructed the 2 female ACC officers to close their eyes and enter the room backwards and to be strong regardless of what they see in the room. She then told them that failure to follow a ritual, they risked dying or becoming blind, and so they followed after her. The investigator further stated that Miss Ruth Nakaundi then asked them to slowly turn and to open their eyes, only to be greeted by a dirty room with scattered clothes, which the investigator says was impossible for a human being to live. Mr. Chanda's sister-in-law then introduced herself to the room as the Queen of Saliva, Mate Mate, and started spitting saliva on almost everything she touched, while showering the 2 female officers with insults throughout the search in that room. Miss Billy says she was gripped with fear, and when Mr. Chanda came to the door, his wife and sister-in-law screamed at the same time, warning him not to enter the room, and the sister-in-law quickly rushed to the door to talk to Mr. Chanda from outside and maintained that only women could enter the said room. Trial in this matter continues. Walsh Funda, S24 News in Lusaka.
All right, so that was a very interesting piece. It's very hilarious. By the way, welcome to the show, Mr. Kafwimbi. How are you doing?
Muna, I am doing great, and thank you very much for having me on this platform of yours. I can see there's a lot of action today. Very interesting. We've seen
Right.
Bulldozer, we have seen the Spitting Queen, and myself. So it's a very, very
Definitely.
interesting mix today.
It's a very jam packed. So, do you believe in witchcraft, Sad?
I'm I'm from Luapula myself, so I'm not going to comment too much on witchcraft. But
They might give you a demo, right? So I mean, like a demo.
yes, yes. And the lightning strike on my house last year, which was described as something out of the ordinary here in Australia. So I don't
Right.
know. Yeah, they just called it one of the phenomena, actually. But I had my own assertions to
I
that.
see.
I won't say
I
much
see.
about the spitting queen. Yes.
All right. Yeah, the spitting queen is on fire. She can send us a demo right now, and we do not want those problems at this
Oh
particular
no.
moment.
Oh
So
no, no, no.
ladies and gentlemen, if you want to comment and talk about the spitting queen, please come through. I'm going to be sharing the link. So we have a lot of things that we are going to be talking about. So if you want to join and be part of this particular program, check out all the questions and the topics that we have, and then feel free to participate. So just like I told you, right, today I want to be talking to a I'm going to be talking to a very innovative man, and you have invented is invent a good word, or you have created? Which one do you prefer?
I prefer create. Yeah, create, because it's a mix of several things that have been brought together to have a product that is working to a certain function, prescribed function, with the problems to sort out the actual problems that we are facing back home. Yes.
Right. So Mr. Kafwimbi has created a water filtering and purification gadget or device. Yeah, so this is very affordable, and I really believe that during the upcoming rainy season, right? Are we already experiencing rainy season right now in Zambia? We have like a lot of waterborne diseases, cholera and all these things, because our water is not really that clean. So he has created a very, very affordable and cheap device slash gadget, which can really help out a lot of people. So this is what I wanted to let the people know, because this is very interesting and exciting. So before I get to ask you several questions, let me just play the video so that people can have a better understanding of what I'm talking about. So let me just share it with you. So by the way, what's the name of the device while I'm preparing this?
It is called the water genie. The device is called the water genie, as it's a magical water solution to curb all our bacterial that causes our typhoid, the dysentery, and the cholera, which will soon start hitting most parts of the country. And these things go on through most of the year, and especially the fecal matter contamination that has happened in Lusaka, on the Copper Belt, in Central Province, because of so many pit latrines. It has actually infiltrated the water tables. So that's why people are getting sick. So that's what it
Right.
solves. Yeah.
Right. So let me just play the video so that people can understand what we are talking about. So this is very good development right over here.
Dell Gadget presents the Water Genie filter for easy water purification in the comfort of your own home. Protect yourself from the dangers of dirty, contaminated water with a few easy steps. The faucet tap water filter comes with one gravity water filter, one filter cleaner syringe, one tap adapter kit, one fastener clamp, and one connection tube. Start by unscrewing the tap adapter kit and connecting the tube. Screw the end of the adapter kit back on. Slide the tube through the fastener. Make sure to clamp the fastener tightly. Attach the faucet tap adapter kit to the tap and tighten. Open tap to purify your water. You can also use the Water Genie to purify water directly into your dispenser water bottles. You will be required to clean the genie by backwashing all the dirt using clean water out of the genie in the opposite direction of the arrow labeled flow. The same water genie can be used and regularly cleaned between the time frame of 4 to 6 months. When the water genie is severely clogged, it will require replacement to ensure clean, bacteria-free drinking water.
Right. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. So, Mr. Kafwimbi, can you just give us some more details about this amazing device that you have created and how Zambians can benefit from it?
Right. The water genie, after we created the water genie, we do have a lot of filters on that are there, but these filters do purification. So we actually went into filtration. There's two processes. There's filtration and there's purification. So purification, we went into actually sorting out the bacteria that exist in water. So this is an antibacterial filter. And in 2018, when after the major pandemic we had of cholera and all that, we thought we should come up with a solution to help people in places where maybe chlorine is not accessible, and chemicals to chlorine, firewood to boil water. Everything is, all those are major costs that come up to having clean water. So we said to ourselves, how can we make this product accessible to most of the Zambians, vulnerable Zambians that cannot afford to buy the drinking water that we boil? So we went ahead and we did it was due diligence, to make up a filter that would actually eliminate bacteria. So we said, where are we going to test this bacteria? And we came back home to Zambia, basically at Food and Drug Zambia. We had a setup there for close to 2-3 months in 2018. So from there, they said, all right, we've had a pandemic here. We've got all the diseases that we need to check out, to see if this filter can handle those diseases. And this was handled by FDA, Food and Drug in Zambia by itself. So they said they're going to test it for, especially this medical terms. It says Staphylococcus aureus, and then E. coli, and then fecocaliforms. These cause dysentery, typhoid, and of course the fecocaliforms. Everyone knows what drinking fecal matter causes. So this was extensively tested by the Food and Drug Laboratory in Zambia, and over quite an extensive period, and they found that we had complete elimination of bacteria. These certificates are actually available. The certificates are able. We had fecocaliforms who were having zero output for over a period of 3 months. E. coli was completely absent. All these other bacterial disease, these disease-causing bacteria, they were completely eliminated to, well, it says zero, so they said 99.9%. And this is one filter that can do this without any application of chemicals or drugs. So now this filter itself, what was the cost of this filter? When you consider the cost of chlorines, the cost of boiling water, the cost for people to try and access this water who cannot go and buy dispensed water, in dispensers. The cost is, a lot of people cannot afford that. But then when we came up with the water genie, we said this thing, if it can work for a long period of time, and it's been tested, it is being used for periods of over 6 months. So we suggested that yes, the maximum period of use for this water genie is between 4 to 6 months, or a maximum usage of 300 cubic liters of water, which is the average consumption of a normal home of drinking water. And the cost of this is actually very low. So we said it will be below 400 kwacha. So for 6 months, we said every home can have the purest water, more pure than a lot of drinking waters that are available in Zambia. They don't reach that. And there's no filter as up to now, I think, that has attained that without the use of electricity, desalination, and all that to achieve the same results. There's no other filter right now at Food and Drug, unless there has been over the last 2 years. So this is the water genie. It is there to serve the people. It is there to help the people. It is there to stop the disease. It helps the government as well, because they are going to help stop treating people with all the bacteria, the dysenteries and what. So it is a filter that can bring the cost down, for government expenditure. It's a filter that can help the homes save money, from having pure water, and also saving lives by people not getting sick drinking that water through a very simple device, cheap device that they can get and use without any electricity. And yes, it's basically a cost-free from the time you buy it until it has finished working. Yes.
Right. So, according to the information that you have just given us, right, this is by far the most effective and the cheapest filter that we have on the market. So basically, how can people get hold of you? Do you have a website? Do you have any documentation, certifications, to show the authenticity of this particular product? So just give us, all that information.
Yes, we do have certifications from FDA in the USA for the quality and purity, the safety of the water genie. We do have documentation from Food and Drug. And in fact, furthermore, we even provided this documentation to the United Nations. We appealed that we should try and start helping in disaster management areas. This was after we did try from 2019 to engage the government. I personally spoke to Honorable Chilufya, I remember, and I was invited to ZNBC after it was tested in Zambia and the results were put forward. Unfortunately, we did not go far. I spoke to several people at the Ministry of Health. It didn't go far. I don't want to go into more details about that, but we are looking forward to how we can progress. Now, the water genie, with the relaunch that we had last week, the water genie is going to be available in bulk in Zambia. We do have a site. Firstly, it's a Facebook site. It is under Dell Gadgets. It is under Dell Gadgets Zambia. It is people will be able to buy the water genie from our side. They will be able to buy the water genie from our side. But in turn with that, we've actually we've been setting up a distribution structure in Zambia. We've been setting up a distribution structure in Zambia, which is being handled by a lady, Mrs. Gladys Storm. She has engaged people in the Copper Belt. So it's a structure of distribution that we are trying to set up because we didn't have a lot of assistance from the government for this product. So she is actually setting up a structure to distribute in provinces. We already have agents which we're going to publish on site. And hopefully we can come back to Z Corner, and then you're going to say the water genie is available in Western Province with this agent. We've got in Central Province. We have got in Lusaka Province. We've got in Southern Province. We are just doing the due diligence of people receiving quantities of the product in bulk, in volume. So we are just having like a preamble and to come up to say the water genie is coming to Zambia, and the certificates will be published. You can see the purity of water, but we really want people to look out for Dell Gadgets Zambia. And I'm very, very sure Ms. Storm, who is closer to handling issues in the country, as I'm aware, and Australia, I can't move up to now. I can't get out. We're hoping we can by December 17th now, for myself to come home and pursue this. But there's people that are doing that, and the due diligence of doing people checking out agents in different aspects is very important, because these people will have the product ready on the shelves and they're going to be published by December 15th. And people, by then, cholera will be flourishing, I think, in many places. And there will be ways for people to buy the water genie online. But we please ask you to look out for the Dell Gadgets website. It will be published on Facebook, and hopefully you can come and share it to say this water genie that you're showing now is available through here. Thank you very much, Mr. Muna.
Lovely. So, Mr. Kamfwimbi, Mary is asking how much the price is. You already talked about that, but just clarify that one more time, and then just give us your concluding remarks before we continue with the regular program.
Mary
Kingdom
Changer. Mary Kingdom Changer. The price of the water genie is going to be between 370 to a maximum from agents or distributors of 400. We are trying to put a price control on this so that people are not, the price is not exaggerated. We want to make this available for the most vulnerable communities, where they will know that in 6 months we've got clean access water. So you will have an agent, and in your province or in the province where your relatives are, you will have an agent. And should you get a price that is above if the 400 kwacha mark, please contact us, because the purpose of the water genie is to reach the vulnerable people. And in concluding, I am going to say that we want Zambians to come aboard, and when a Zambian makes a product that is there to serve and not to exploit the people, we want them to come and help us. And in that way, we are going to help all other Zambians. In future, we are going to help out distribution channels, hopefully create a lot more employment. And yes, and our job is to save lives in Zambia, save lives by going through the correct channels. We've been through the correct channels, correct testing channels. You're not going to a shop by the corner and saying, someone, this is a filter. You don't even know, So I'm glad there's a lot of people posting that they are ready to be agents for this. Yes. Please contact Miss Gladys Storm. We're going to publish her name, and then she will do her due diligence on you to check out if you're eligible. But we want the people to come along and come and support the Water Genie. It's a product for their families. It's a product for their kids. It's a product for the whole Zambia. It's a product to save Zambia and stop the disease and have a healthier Zambia, because water is life in every aspect. That's why we have NGOs trying to help us with water, but we can start with ourselves. We can help ourselves. So that is my message to Zambians and to the Zambian government.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Kamfuimbi. This is what we are advocating for. We need Zambian people to be actively playing key roles in improving the lives of Zambians and even saving lives, because we have a lot of diseases during the rainy season. And due to the fact that your device, your product is absolutely cheap, affordable, and it lasts very, very long. So this is something that we are supposed to be championing. And I really appreciate you. And thank you for visiting Z Corner. So thank you very much, sir. We are looking forward to, seeing how this whole story is going to develop, and we are here to support you. Thank you.
Thank you, Zed Corner. A pleasure. Thank you.
All right. Have a great time. Take care. Okay. So let me let us continue our regular show. So that was Mr. Kamfuimbi. And one of the things that we really advocate for here on Z Corner is innovation, entrepreneurship. We need to support and encourage Zambians to do innovative things and just basically provide solutions to our problems. So when we have, innovative and entrepreneurial people coming through, we just have to support. So anyhow, back to our regular discussions. Welcome to the show, Mr. Ipanga. Brother Emmanuel, how are you, sir? Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you, Brother Muna. I'm fine. And how has been your day?
Oh, my day has been lovely. I've just been, watching what has been happening in Zambia, and the latest development have been very, very bizarre, especially with regards to the Queen of Saliva. I can see Brother Oscar. I'm not going to Brother Oscar, you should have a degree in such things.
Mate.
Right.
Mr. Muna, I was telling you, you should respect us. We are respected people.
Mwadi Kaba, as in I wanted to say Mwadi Bipa. I meant it in a good way, like Mwadi Kaba.
Yeah. Anyway. Twalibipa no kukawa twalikawa fyonse.
Mwadi Bipa in a good way. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
So, but Pazedi Kwena.
So, gentlemen, let me just refresh people's minds to remind them where we are coming from. So let me just play this again, and then we're going to continue talking about Bizwell Mutale's suggestion with regards to lifestyle audit, because that's very important. And we are going to talk about a few other things as well that are popping up. I know it's a very sensitive issue, but there are new developments coming through with regards to the, may his soul rest in peace, the late Honorable Mkandawire. So yeah, we're going to slightly talk about that, but I just don't want to go into details because sensitive issues, people are still mourning, and it's very insensitive of us to like just talk about these things. Anyway, let me play this one more time, then we'll have a short discussion about Abakulu Apola.
She narrated her experience before the court, and her testimony kept the atmosphere of the courtroom quiet, where the drop of water from a bottle could be clearly heard even from a distance. This isn't a matter in which former Republican President Edgar Lungu's former press advisor, Amos Chanda, his wife Mebo Nakaundi Chanda, and sister-in-law Ruth Nakaundi are dragged to court by the Anti-Corruption Commission for allegedly causing a search obstruction of justice and for using offensive language towards ACC officers. When the matter came up for continued trial, ACC investigator Mtuzi Billy said the officers broke the locking system of 2 rooms where the trio had resisted and denied the officer entry despite presenting the search warrant to them. Ms. Billy says after minimum force was used to open the door for a one self-contained room, Mr. Chanda's sister-in-law told them that only women can enter the room and no men were allowed to do so. She instructed the 2 female ACC officers to close their eyes and enter the room backwards and to be strong regardless of what they see in the room. She then told them that failure to follow a ritual, they risked dying or becoming blind, and so they followed after her. The investigator further stated that Ms. Ruth Nakaundi then asked them to slowly turn and to open their eyes, only to be greeted by a dirty room with scattered clothes, which the investigator says was impossible for a human being to live. Mr. Chanda's sister-in-law then introduced herself to the room as the Queen of Saliva, Mate, and started spitting saliva on almost everything she touched, while showering the 2 female officers with insults throughout the search in that room. Miss Billy says she was gripped with fear, and when Mr. Chanda came to the door, his wife and sister-in-law screamed at the same time, warning him not to enter the room, and the sister-in-law quickly rushed to the door to talk to Mr. Chanda from outside and maintained that only women could enter the said room. Trial in this matter continues. Walsh Fonda, S24 News in Lusaka.
All right, so interesting development right there. Anyway, personally, but one me, I think it's just like a scare tactic, you know. It's just mind games and psychology, you know. What do you think, Brother Emmanuel?
Thank you so much. I also tried to follow it, but when you look at the whole thing, it's just a planned move to ensure that they try to infuse the fear into the ACC officers so that they stop or they are blocked from doing the right, what they are supposed to do. Because going by instructions that she gave, on the other hand, we thank God that no one came blind and no one died. But the whole thing is just something to do with to infuse the fear into the officers. To me, that also it's a case on its own. Though the court might not believe, because that is witchcraft. Yeah, the court might not believe to say this is what happened. Maybe with evidence, they are able to take it up from there. Otherwise, these guys, they can do anything to run away from the traps because they know what they did. Now, the Mate thing, the Queen of Saliva, where she was able to she was able to start spitting on whichever piece of paper, whatever piece of anything that she picked or she touched.
Yes, and then they also say that Mate, the Queen of Saliva, has got gallons and gallons and liters of saliva in her mouth. But
Brother Muna, the gallons of Matemate, did the ACC present that as a part of the proceedings or part of evidence?
Well, according to the stories that we're seeing on Kalemba, but you know, Kalemba has got a way of like exaggerating when he's writing, you know, the stories. But he just said Matemate has got gallons and gallons of saliva. That's why all the clothing was literally wet in the room. Because she was able to make everything wet. So much saliva.
Yeah, the bone of contention is the reason why they have been dragged to court.
Right.
The insults that they showered. Despite that, there were those other things.
Right, because technically speaking, you can't take somebody to court for witchcraft, right?
Yeah. You cannot take someone to court on witchcraft issues, because how would you prove to the courts that this is witchcraft? So we are looking at the technical aspect of why they have been dragged to court. And those insults, while they're spitting, Matemate, she was busy showering the ACC officers with insults.
Right.
So that is the part which we are interested, because when we look at these guys who are coming from the previous regime, they have all the tactics so that they remain who they are. Otherwise, there's nothing that they can do, because the courts are courts unless otherwise. I submit.
Right. And by the way, what as in what case did they have? Why did the ACC go to Amos Chanda's place in the first place?
Yeah, they went there to do the search, suspecting that there should have been some proceeds of crime, which in the first place they were blocked. They were not allowed. They gave wrong information to the officers to say the one with the keys to access the house or the room wasn't around when the keys were there and everyone was home. So they suspected Amos Chanda to have had some proceeds of crime. That was the reason why the ACC officers visited Amos Chanda's home.
Right. And I really think their tactics are working, because instead of people talking about the actual crime and the suspicions and why this whole situation happened, right? We're talking about Matemate and the Queen of Saliva and, Amos Chanda suing ACC. So it's actually working, because they are managing to sort of change the subject, if I can put it that way, because these people have got or could potentially have serious cases as per ACC investigation. So that is something that we should be taking note of as well. But personally, just like I told you, I really think this was all a scare tactic, just some psychological tricks to make the ACC officers, afraid or something like that. But what do you think about those instructions? Wakabushi graduate, have you ever gone inside the house backwards? Have you ever experienced Tubuloshi? What do you think about this Matemate situation?
I think thank you very much, Mr. Muna. Ya mamadiashi yara sekesha rock sekesha. Mr. Muna, look, by ACC, ngabaisa like for instance panganda pano. Those people tabenda fe parwabo fe. They actually been tipped off. Oh, can you go and do the investigation? Moy Monaka? If is some good scaring. So Irama officers babi kire abaire kuria kunganda so that basista abari fuisa mate. Yombabaga twishing abari ne fumo, because you saw just like you said, fumo if psychologically. Nanguma church to Ramonaya. We monturi ne nsara. Uri ne nsara baisa kwe but iwe. Therefore, to kupere chakura, because psychologically, soma psychology, you can able to say, oyo muntu na influencer oyo muntu alefwa efi, because that's baranda some officers baire mukusecha kula kunganda bali abantu nka perfume yali kusana awe amanganda abantu mulaba ama aircon yaraka 24/7 yaraka so tetbaranda tsupa kufuisa amate omuntu ali nefumo nango ama officers balinuka katwishirimbi ama perfume yarapusanako, but that's not how it's supposed to be. Uburoshi tapapona oburoshi bwali kwawe, that's been an insult. Chimo ure social state nabesa bakapokora bakuletera call out warabe bati call out ile nkatafikusene na bali aba sister baba Amos Chanda. Ero nomba Muzambia to butafya kwe bati how come we muntu warashita suilya ACC ba iwoli pamirandu chimo bali kufuwa election. So ya mama tactics feta pali pone fya bulo shawe. Efra turanda there are some habits. So balatu wali monama habits tayari ayarondroka. So nga ninebo pali one of our officers infwire nawe pushabuse. Kushema ayo tuarenu nkana what really transpired for you to do what you did didn't tuwaishire kulia. Effort fuiro kwepsha. Because ni mbona kwa ma comment section umubarira ndabantu ati buroshe bubomba. Bumote buroshi. Na tupapo tubaya kwa abantu twali bonfya fesa ekojo twakwatafe mu mano na ichibati umuntu definitely umusepera wonse arafuaye chupo umusepera wonse arafuaye nchito so nga bayimya kuntanshikura barandati nibana nabarefuaye nchito abarefu okupa bonse tuwaraimya nende fu nchito nende fu bazari so bari saprenga fini tactic irana psychological oba bonfeshe tapari pone fya kwabatu bwangawe so ifo tuwabe pshabushe mwari pabukuru nangulimbi perfume ya ma officers kairimbi nama salaries ata alirondoroka Mr. Muna so limbi huku imyabe vitafita wa samba na okusamba so sheshe bwino but yeah amate yote kuranda ati ni nani hao ma bad habits ma bad manners mama zamkuranda pali yaka Bowman ukuba mu parliament bamuno omuntu nga atwara ku court nabena nabatwara ku court kusa mu parliament anti opo court ikarulinga ero omuntu engafuma mu Bowman so Bowman kutaya mu parliament filife bwino ngali twana ina constitutional court ngali stafa ma papers kutaba mu parliament nomba nalalanda paliso I think mu Zambia because I've seen lot of
Bakabushi graduate mwatorokera topic then can tupere kwa abantu nabambi chance twaravwere na kuri aya mbitwara isa kuri ba Bizwell na ba Bowman mwatorokera sana so twaramita again pari your topic Abena Luapula. I want to hear your opinions, Abena Luapula. Brother Oscar.
Fevena Luapula ifwe. Febe miengwena kuimiengwena. I think Kabushi graduate is a very, very bright gentleman. He's a very bright guy. I am siding by by Kabushi graduate's analysis, which is correct. Bamuna, you see, recently two episodes have happened. Actually, I would say 3 episodes. Member of Parliament of Wile, then the shooting of that Nankane Uriachi pharmacist, I understand, suspected. Then this episode, the search for criminal offenses, and the police had a searching warrant. Can you correct me if they did have the search warrant or they did not have it?
I think they did. They did because they produced it. You mean at Amos Chanda's place?
Yes.
They did produce a search warrant.
So at Amos Chanda's place, the police had a search warrant. Now, Yonsayama 3 episode, they are just showing how inefficient and how unprofessional our police are working. Our police are really very unprofessional. You are a police, you are searching for a criminal offense. Are we talking serious? Is that serious? Come on, you gentlemen. I don't know whether these police, because there's just too much confusion. My police officers, we never know. Collide with them. Where on earth, in a serious country, Where on earth can the police listen to an excuse of a suspect that muri room tete mwingiremo? Where on earth? I add upon another excuse, Pantu Amuna. We heard also ati bari study le okwisula muri room imwe ini ati Pantu amakizi takwali abakweta amakizi tabali popanganda. All those rubbish, that is unprofessional. Ba policing and abakwata search warrant pari room kupantula Mr. Muna na imwechuwa kwa tsato yako na kuskuru shuwa na ngufeni wa grade 7 bene kuti waishwati kupantula ruma you are searching. Ba police nangu baona ola ichibi baona na motoka bato ba ama glass. So open the window aleka awe pantine kutoba. They are searching. The only thing they cannot do is to shoot a person you are not sure that is a culprit. That the other mistake they made there. Shooting at your C5. What is C5? C5 is not shooting you. You cannot do that. So I think Mamuna, if you andoshi, if you wanga tifunyeni pomwe bantu ine akalewa mayobale tuwe ifati. Iwe we can saka kungumbo. Inena wapala pangumbo pala pe ne pa shupa pala pa mununga. Waliako kuiwe muna kumununga yo kwa mununga.
Ngumfu afe munimbo. So kama afu
Unakwine okwa kari kulia iwe. Kuri okwa kari. Atifetini wa kari fwe.
Tukarami tina kaji brother Oscar.
Nomba ine. Wiranti na panti ine na arifikana sana. Na arifikana. Just as na kana, if you have blood money, if you have money, nchalumbuli hapa pa platform, ba muna na muishwa na muna, you are also a culprit. Yes, because you allow them to come at your social network. You allow them to come at a social network. Awalela ndati, ati say as I, ati shani, ati say as I command money, ati shani moita. Do as I say, you rubbish.
But me, that's about the struggle. Me, it was just about the struggle.
Wait, don't allow. Filafine no akene mairutuari kana wa muna chimwe wa muna emutua papata. Let's not take negative examples. Ukula waleta hapa. Tuakana if we are refusing we are refusing na makayonze. So if you abulo fiabu fi, ba police we are not professional. So let them go back to school and become professional. Thank you, I submit.
This is the democracy that we have on this particular platform. I always encourage my panelists to shoot me, to tell me as it is, and everybody, including the viewers. And you should let me know, saying, Brother Muna, but now Tova. That's the type of democracy that we have. Brother Jason, let's give it up to Brother Jason. Munishan, Brother Jason, cool.
Brother Muna, it's been a blessed day for me today, and I'm so excited actually to see you. And I'm very happy. I'm very happy actually for the topic that we are discussing now. You know, this is what I always say, that one of the virus actually that has killed Africa's potential entirely is, you know, it's because of certain stupid beliefs. Like the previous speakers are saying, you know, these things, if we analyze them critically, they have pushed Africa actually into the dark corner, despite having so many resources and the like. Mwalasango kweba even na mama institutions, if you are police and the like, mwalasanga professionalism actually is not even considered. We've been hearing you and I, Brother Moon, and even the viewers to say, so I promoted Mukapokora based on education. You've seen if so now somebody that background knowledge, a sister wakwa Amos Chanda, you know, she took advantage because that is what is in the heads of those people. You can't be a search, you can't be a C5, you can't be a search personnel, you can't be an intelligence officer, you can't be an OP. You know, guys, that's why bamuno fondandile kwebati. Limoku shishitafi. That's why nalitemwa in the Bible, brother Muna, because Bible has got everything. There is psychology there. There is everything. And that's why in the book of Hosea chapter 4 verse 6, it says, my people are perishing for lack of knowledge. Mwamonaka? That's why mwalasanga tina system for Ibomba pa Africa. It is not up to the standards. It's not up to the professionalism. That's why there is no efficiency. How can somebody tell me to say we katamu mutumbo muliwanga? If I'm mwine ba munomo tuikatamulia, kuya fokotora mulia mwine, I can give an example if you ask me, brother Muna. Me, like I told you, I'm coming from a very harsh background, but balanda chubu chushibu pamano. I met people who taught me about life. I met different types of people. Especially when I was at Chengelo, I was very much helped because the view of life transformed. When I came to Rwanda, there were a lot of saying, no, this place that you have come into is a ghost town. You are talking of business. Then I told them to say, actually a developing area is better for me, a starter. A beginner, it's better for me. Certain things that we believe in, they are the ones actually that is pushing our development backward. Actually, I admire Nigeria. That's why Nigeria, because the experience witchcraft actually is there. But Nigeria is one of the countries in their constitution which says, thou shalt not practice witchcraft. Brother Muna. If you check out Nigeria's constitution, they are
okay, there's that provision. Oh, okay. I didn't know.
Yes, there is in Nigerian constitution. You can Google.
No, okay.
It is straightforward. Now we pretend, but these people, because in a phone chat, Mushareni abaloshi, nishtabapangra kwa magreda, nishtabapangra kwa majet, mwafimona, no mbefimano fiafiko, ebo tureti na brother Muna. Somebody is not performing properly, but all because he is called to say, alikuwa tobwanga, muremu tina no kumutina. What I can educate people, the members of the public, is that actually, fear is what witchcraft feeds on. If we tolerate them and if we begin to praise them, they will continue doing rubbish in those offices. For the fact that the members of the public, they balikuwa tobuloshi, ba bosi mwatibako angalako, pachipunapo, tetuikarepo.
Right. So, Brother Oscar, I think you're right. Barikwata provision, Muli constitution, Yabo. According to this data that we're having, right, you can actually be in prison for 2 years. So it says in Nigeria, let me just zoom that. In Nigeria, any person who by his statements or action represents himself to be a witch or to have the power of witchcraft is guilty of an offense. Section 216 and Section 210 Criminal and Penal Codes Act. Okay, cool. That's why I think I introduce bill or something.
That's why this platform, I've come to love it, Brother Muna. Because, most of us, we never had this opportunity to come online, stream live, so that the members of public are able to be educated. So these are some of the things actually they should be preaching. Me, I tell the people to say, where they meet Ama chiefs in the House of Chiefs, what issues do they discuss? I always say if they can ask this direct question at Mweshamfumu, why do you think our villages are lagging behind when it comes to development? If they fail to ask, if I was the minister of House of Chiefs, I would tell them to say it's because of Amano ya Ubuloshi. Ubuloshi actually, Brother Muna, that is what has killed Zambia's potential.
Even innovation and entrepreneurship.
Yes, Brother Muna. If you
Ubuloshi no Ubututu. Ubuloshi plus Ubututu.
Exactly. That's why Brother Muna, Brother Muna, nalitemwako akali buku kaverenga sana na Bible, fyonse fibirifi. Because the Bible, you understand, actually, that's where you find your identity. Because you stop looking at your skin color. Eh? And if you study business, you just have to follow basic principles of business. Eh? You follow them properly. Eh? And in the course of time, you'll be there. The most important thing is commitment in whatever that one does. No mama rasanga tinangukabu nangani kalifula, especially in civil service. Why? Because these people, they are not promoted on merit. Mabuloshi. Mabuloshi. Members of the public are listening this. Actually, namumfabu ino matema tyo because arenga twachita expose ifini tufimwete abukube fitika muchalo chesu cha Zambia. Mwamonaka. But tafwire fya konkanyapo. If I was part of that crew which went to search Amos Chanda's premises, ngari dabwa sana tingo yuna waisa yan. You know, these Bamambala, when they counter a power beyond what they believe in, but what we should know, we call ourselves Zambians as a Christian nation. There is no power that is beyond the power of Jesus Christ. You know, the finished work of the cross actually has given us the guarantee to trample on these scorpions, nama serpents, abalo shibeni aba. Brother Muna in business, mwamonaka. And in that weird situation. And in the end, they come to ask me, Iwe, what do you do? How do you survive?
Like here, some weird situations. For bosses, to trash and research up. The law enforcers will put this.
Somebody, boy, how do you survive? So even that project you are doing that side is from this same business. Not why you asking me that. But the most important thing, you just have to be disciplined. If you are an entrepreneur, you don't have to go and think about it. Brother Muna. I've been in business from the time I stopped work for 7 years now. And I've never experienced any mysterious missing of cash whatsoever. So whatever that you believe in, that's what is going to affect you.
Brother Jason.
Yes.
So ACC took these people to court because of insulting. But in actual reality, it's because of witchcraft allegation. But since we don't have that provision, constitution, you can't take somebody for witchcraft because according to the law in Zambia, you can't do that. You don't have any evidence. So that's why I was even shocked that they were able to take somebody to court because of insulting. I didn't know that you can do that. But just like you said, right, we need to advocate for that law so that we can even protect a lot of citizens.
Obstruction. We can put obstruction. Obstruction for police investigations. It's very serious. Obstruction.
Yeah,
obstruction.
Exactly.
Brother Oscar. So anyway, Brother Jason, how can we make this witchcraft thing into we can put it like in the constitution or something?
Because you know, Brother Muna, HH actually is a victim of actually suspicions because of the cultural belief that is embedded in most Zambians, whereby even millions, when we see somebody successful through education and through hard working and the way you are answering, at one particular point, they will start calling you names. The most important thing, actually, we just have to begin sensitizing the members of the public. That's why that which you proposed to start is something which should not be dropped, Brother Muna, because it can encompass a lot of issues. A lot of issues. When members of the public are educated, actually, how the system operates, you know, it becomes very easy to understand certain things. So, what must be done? You know, the government has got an upper and bylaws. They have to engage these traditional leaders to say, you guys, that's why I always talk about conjunctions of these towns of Lusaka, the Kitwe. You know, somebody must have potential to do this and that. But because of the threats of actually manipulative powers, they resort to run away from those areas and mwaradabo kwe bataresa mkuwiro muntika plot ka 12 by 27. Limbiasha na famu ikuru 5 hectares. So what must be done, Brother Muna? The government actually, I don't know if the ministry still exists through the Ministry of House of Chiefs. It has to come up with a program to begin to sensitize the members of the public and actually to put some of the laws. They can come up with the bylaws because these things, they are known. We cannot pretend. We cannot pretend to say they don't exist. If you read the history of Great Britain, but it was just detrimental to the development. Bali bindirenga mwaberenga history ya kubulaya kulyaba Brother Muna. Mwalasanga there was witchcraft. But bena basa chinja, basa fibika pati muri black magic abena alipota badatutamba. It is still there, but the way it is done in Africa, mwamonaka, the way it is done in Africa, vipa. That's why ndabatasha sana ukukwafuma bana chirufya tayari atikwisoku.
Ethiopia.
Ethiopia, you know, is one of the countries which has never been colonized. They were able to counter the colonial masters using witchcraft. Inkara mobile strene shamalo ndabashi.
Yani me paso brother Jason.
Jason kokore ni po.
In Zambia, mwanji nina ilubula babula nda special kuba nenso ababa shamwishi babu ino Yesu. Ibula babula nda balachula. Ichakweba chitabasakana. Basakana. So it only takes to intensify ama pepo elo chingafa sana ama pepo kuba intensified na mumishi mwine mulya ubuteko bwabomba ne mfumu bwabomba na tumwine mushi so that abantu twareko kutuka kumushkulya kulya kuine mukulanga twatemwa twachita process kuli company so that the local peoples in those corners of Zambia they also benefit. But you discover that we the locals, we are afraid to go and do businesses in those typical areas of Zambia. Or because of manipulative methods which are used wrongly. So there is need for sensitization. Hello.
Iyo mwarande yo yisume ya buroshi uko ku Ethiopia. Nomba ina shira tontonga na sisa bengita basambira ndanda po primitive bushe government state ya mo taxes na mnanda pari ba report abapuka na efoto apanga pe museum government ya mo yangu 5% of fine chikuruta bare ipa tabare fumyo muropa limbi na efori ya mo movies pa batsuba wana bros bambo kura panga mama studios muzambe mure munaposhana.
All of which, yeah, sticking on that point, right? A lot of people can say that witchcraft is some part of religion. So, ni religion, Yama Africans, some people in Zambia also practice it. So, Mretira Poshano commercializing witchcraft, na since it's a religion, Brother Jason, to ever never Brother Bombo. Since you're experts, mweba kurua pula.
Uko chita commercialize if ya kubantu. It becomes a danger. That's why this is it is bringing back now us to discussing now PF Mwamanaka because we commercialize something and we are giving opportunity to people with ill knowledge, erroneous knowledge. You know, it becomes a danger. It becomes a danger. Not until people they come to understand how economy is grown, how economy can be grown by the local individuals. That's why in Anguba Sungu, they know that these things, they happen, but they will never come on board to begin to castigate these issues because actually it is part of their loopholes. They know what happens, that Africans, they don't support each other, they don't support one another. So, there was an issue. Iliaya chibala introduce witchcraft pa university. Teti Brother Muna chibala chitobu mu studio mu.
As the lecturer zone.
Chibala chitobu mu studio. So it is not something that we can even think of to commercialize because you know we are talking of people with a primitive mindset, with a mind actually which I call a redstone age mindset. So we just have to go flat out begin to sensitize people that actually we just have to embrace something that can help us grow our economy, because we are talking of the economy, building up the economy, recovering the economy. Now, if we have these manipulative power, hidden powers that are distracting and obstructing individuals who would actually make something better in life, it's one and the same thing. I think that other people can.
Yeah, brother Muna. Brother Muna.
Yes, brother
Yeah,
Emmanuel,
yes, something which I want to add. On the issue of Nigeria incorporating or to have that clause of witchcraft, I think even in Zambia it's very possible. Brother Muna, I believe you come from Western Province.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, when you go to Limulunga at the palace there, outside there's a museum.
Yes.
You just pay about 2 kwacha to watch what is there. And among other things which are in that museum, you will find the human parts. Secondly, you will find an instrument or a weapon, a black magic weapon called Kaliloze, a black magic gun. Thirdly, you will find a black magic plane. And a few others which are believed to be used by us as Africans or the wizards. So it's very easy to put that into constitution because the government will be able to interact and find out exactly what goes on. These things which I've talked about, they are there in Limulunga at the palace there. There's a building where these things are put. There are so many things there. So there is a need to find out, to dig more information, to ask questions here. How does this work? How does it, then it will be very easy to find the way forward of maybe including it in our Zambian constitution so that in the case of cases, anyone goes that way, contrary, is able to face the law. That's what I wanted to submit.
Thank you. So, brother Oscar, what do you think about commercializing witchcraft and introducing laws?
Moon, I think we have to be very careful. Let's speak against such unproductive practice. It's unproductive. Actually, Bamuna, I was talking to this Patson Daka, England. The first thing I told him was this. Bamuna ichinangumbwe China na alina na ine no mba twalete na footballer
Akale sana.
So nomba nawe na twalive bati baiche imwe nga mwali senda soti ubunga bwa white poseni tafiwomba ku Europe ifyo throw them. You don't use that such thing. That's why if I can just ask Mwebali Papaneo, just think about it. Why has it been Mozambia, ama footballers, abale bonfyo bunga ne mination na fyonse fidama inena alete bola na ama boots ba mu na ama boots walete bati weekend mu paude iwe bikamo ichichimba katwisho fyale fumanga fishimba fyaba nani we don't know. Na nomba ama footballers balabonfyefyo such stupid things. So why is it possible that abena Zambia ba wina kuka cup next year ba pwa bonse? Why is it? Wala pwa baiche. Whereas kuno ku Europe we are still my team AC Milan na nomba tu alikuwa Ibrahimovic is our striker, 40 years age. He is 40 years ba muna 40 years. Mamone nomba if you are pura monene if you are very careful, be careful. It's just like filiachiranda umbi papane wachiranda ati abati ba papa those ba papa bafulire mu Zambia, it's a business number. If aba papa like Malembe also is papa itako na bambi uko my papa bonse baita finomba papa ma papa. It's a business now. This type of business, it's a very bad business. You are not serious. You stop fighting hard. You stop working hard. You stop studying, and you start just thinking of papa bachinje bati pakona palia 100 meters at the corner. Mercedes Benz is waiting for you. Just wait for some time. Tienuko. Get lost. Fyonse mwevan ala abantu abena Zambia abakashana makamaka na abalumendo lifisumina muna papa my no buanga bwine abakuru apura ine nalikwata bayama abepwa abo twabafa efo twachitepa kubafwako ifwe we have to pull them from Luapula. We pulled them from Luapula and we brought them in the copper belt. If you watch Chinjava, because Kuruapula, Kanani Kanekavako Nikaria, Avakalamba, Takuri Kuasuka. Iwori Kaiche, we asukako. Elonga asukako, Warinji Shivaine, Tawanji Shiva, Nalaya Fipara Nala Koneka, Nala no Wadi Talala, or Alamonefia Lakushtikira. Ava Icheva is Sundawira, Mamone. Such things. Ignorance, no bututu. No ubuloshi. Now, let me just conclude on this. Mwachilanda fia ku Nigeria. Me, I have many Nigerian friends. But Nigeria, they came out with that law because mwadimfa kwati if ya voodoo ku Nigeria mwadimfa kwa ifwa munain voodoo. Ba Nigeria fiari seka sana. Pantu fiari fumana kubantu fe bala bantu fiafika kudi na balabe na mapapa. Ku Nigeria kwena, it's terrible. I'll concur with the Uramdala, that gentleman from Rwanda, very good man from Rwanda. What's the name? Our friend here. Yes, Mr. Jason is very good. It's very good. He pointed out that, but Brother Jason, Nigeria, witchcraft has also caused a lot of problems. As I'm telling you now, in Nigeria, sometimes people sleep without eating anything because Abantu, they don't go out. That's why Nigerians, they are all over the world. Do you ask yourself a question? Why do Nigerians run away from Nigeria? If Nigeria is a prosperous country, Nigerians are out of, I think the Nigerians who are outside Nigeria might be 30% of the population of Nigeria. 30%. Question, why do they run away from Nigeria? If Nigeria is are believed to be one of the prosperous countries in Africa, I think between the three first ones, South Africa, Egypt, and Nigeria. Padi ababatatu, no mbaba Nigeria. I'm not insulting, I have my friends. Nigerians. I tell them this. Aleva fulefia ba papa wa Nigeria vena, I'm telling you. And I'm not going to pinpoint any single one, but I'm just saying, let's be attentive to this topic Bamuna. It's very good. Muka ifo efe na imbitai mufika efe topic efe. The only topic tukalande po pando shi. Pako tukafwe kwa band alaba kulwa pula ba blulu besu ifwe. Alaba muna. Just think of ama elections ya isa ba votera imo ine pate. Kwa ba shani uko iyo tuweke shepo ba votera. What does that mean? Efiaba ubututu no buloshi. Nemfumu ifwe nemfumu yandi niwa chitimu niwa nanikane. Imfumu chitembo. Ine imfumu yandi niwa chitembo. Na aliwa chindika no kuwa chindika. Na aba kunodeni niwa chitimu kurutu aliwa chindika. Nomba. Ngabambo kukano kwe batinga mwabeba kwati. Bachitimu kuru imwe. Kwena apana apa bakurufya nyati. Imwe bonse mwa iche imwe. In freedom of speech, this is freedom of stupidness. Songa to turande ko ifwe atuli mwaiche na ala kulowa. Mwamone. Nomba ifwe to alikana, fwe ba isana kuna diaspora na alikana. Ero na alibera kunganda. Imwenga mwaisa isefia kwa ati ifya ndo shinango nasa mkutandala ine. indo shinga shaisa shibiri shikala ipunkana fesheka shaipunkana shaichena sheka pantu aba bando shifyabu fi indo shi shabu fi pantu muzambia nga bali sumine fyabulo shi ngatamwa abana poverty. Why should there be poverty kulwa pula? Ask yourself a logical question. Why should there be poverty in Wapula? Akainde Chilema, our president, was shocked. Alolesha, green, water, a lot of water, bamuna, erono mbabantu, babiliva fiati, kwa livendo shika la popakona, tapade fo wingachita. Tapade fo wingachita, nishita mulipina imu, yo, kaidita tuwa kwate obwango bukali. Obwange ebulima obwanga. Utoji obwanga budalima, tabulima. So, this subject is very important. We hope the discussion of today would really say something. Kubantu abalechitako govern mwebantu nabakapokola lekeni fya kutina endo shida imwe. Ke kateni fyo fine fibwanga ngachiranda Jason, my brother Jason. If you fine fibwanga fi kateni mufyoche no kufyocha. Burn them. Nothing happens. I've done it before. Nshafana nomba mamone.
Ora na mwini nako no kwini nako. You've gained more pages.
Muna no kuami nako ningwami nako tawale mbona fifunde monika.
Uvi sana na mwa sana hapa. All right, okay. So anyway, let's move on to the next topic because twaranda sana pa fyavulo shi. Parasti abantu kutibatina nimbona abantu ma comments beranda tawe mwatutini mweba kulwa pula. Ata abakulu pula bali sana active lero hapa so hapa namwona brother Chipwe na brother Oscar bali sana my experience mulifu. Anyway, let's move on. Let's talk about the Bizwell Mutale situation where he's asking for a lifestyle audit, especially for the top senior PF officials, because he doesn't want each and every member of Patriotic Front to be labeled as corrupt and all those things. So this is one of the reasons he's advocating for the lifestyle audit so that, innocent members of the Patriotic Front can get to save their faces, if I can put it that way. So is this a welcome move? And what do you basically think about this? So let's give it up to Emmanuel, then we'll go to Moses, then Perry. Brother Emmanuel.
Yes, Brother Muna.
Yes, we can hear you. So Bizwell Mutale, situation, what's your take?
Although I didn't take a look at it or try to hear it, but the only thing I can try to contribute or say about is, being audited is something which is just very important. Even yourself, whatever you are doing, you should know the do's and the don'ts. Just yourself. There's no way of even you need to overcome the audit at all times, because that thing gives you the direction even to say, I think where I went wrong, there is like a pinch of error. You need to correct it, because being audited is not something like they are hanging you. No, auditing is a welcome thing to everyone, even to as an individual. You need to be auditing yourself, whatever we're doing, so that you learn something out of your mistakes. So I think unless if you try to play maybe a video and then I try to hear to what was being said, so that I can pick it up from there. But being auditing is something which is very a welcome thing for everyone.
All right. Okay, thank you, Brother Emmanuel. We'll get back to you.
I don't know if you have got the video, pick it up from there.
Okay, Brother Moses, you're up next. Brother Moses, I hope you're there. Moses, okay. Moses is not available. Let's pass it over to Perry. Perry, so what do you think about the Bizwell Mutale situation?
Well, it's a valid point, but it shouldn't just end with the PF. This is something that is supposed to be enshrined in our constitution, that the government can subject anyone to a lifestyle audit. This can also be a deterrent to people who would want to, misappropriate money somehow. So this is a welcome move, but it shouldn't just end with the PF only. A lifestyle audit is supposed to be administered on anyone who has exhibited the red flags, both in the PF or the UPND. So for me, I think it's a welcome move, and we just have to find ways of enshrining it in our constitution as well, so that at least if Perry has stolen, even if I'm not a member of the political party, the government can still say, hey, where did you find this wealth? And it just enables people to somehow lead a straightforward life. Thank you.
Right. Thanks. Brother Mr. Mtonga, welcome to the show. What is your contribution? Good evening.
Hello, good evening. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay, yeah, like I said, I read it through. That's a man trying to show himself to be an integrity. He's showing his integrity on there because he knows maybe he's clean. He hasn't got anything to hide. So he's free to say, okay, let's have an audit so we can prove ourselves that we are not a clique of thieves. So that's what we need to see. That is a welcome idea, and I hope the Auditor General will be able to look at it and initiate that, and let's have every one of the PF guys, because that's the only way we can find the money be brought back into the coffers. Because these guys, they entered into politics, they never had the penny, some of them, but all of a sudden they're millionaires. They're building mansions, Some people, even if they had money, but they couldn't build mansions like they have built now. You find that it's a lot. I mean, some of the people, we know them, they just had the houses, which, but now when you see their mansions, their palaces, it's like they are even, more than the president, some of them. So it's a very, very welcome idea. And Bizwell is trying to prove himself to be a man of integrity and a man who is free. He has nothing to hide, and he wants his party to be cleared of these issues that have been accused of. So we want the money back into the coffers. Let those that have stolen be held responsible and brought back to book, and let them be, let them pay back what they have stolen, and let the government grab everything that they have built with the money that they stole, so that we can have money again in the coffer of the government. We need that money. There's a lot of money which has disappeared, and I think that is a very welcome, thing to do. Let's have lifestyle audit of those that were before and after, so we can find out what they stole and what they, what they had and what they have now. That will be the difference.
Mr. Mtonga, I think at this point, if let's say the people that stole didn't invest that money in landed property, it's very easy to hide it. People can hide that money in crypto. You'll never find it. Right now, I think the issue of recovering things is it's a little bit too late, I feel.
No, I don't think it is too late.
As I say, the money wasn't invested in landed properties.
Yes, I know that.
It's too late to find it.
But even if they didn't invest in landed property, there is always, you can always trace the money, the movement of the money. So if they can trace some of that money into, some offshore current, accounts and all this. Some have buried it in the ground, I'm sure. So to say, they've converted it into some and given to their relatives. All this is what he has suggested. He has suggested that they should audit them and their relatives and their associates. So this money has been spread out, so much that you have, it's very easy to find it. Some people, their relative were as poor as, church mouse, like you can say, but then now they've got, properties or businesses which they have trying to accuse that they had this business. When did they have these businesses? These businesses started when their relatives became politicians, and that means it's easy to trace those. So that's, like you said, we need to look at the taxman. The ZRA can trace that to see how much tax these guys have been paying. If they've made that much money, they should show us some tax, payments. So that is one of the way to get hold of them. They might hide the stuff, but let's see. Their lifestyle audit is what is going to tell us how come they are living like like a king when they were paupers before they got into politics. So that's just to find out. Basically, I think we can recover a bit from that. Even if we cover a bit, but we need to get to hold them responsible for what they did, and they can pay up in a way.
Well, I agree that we can hold them responsible for whatever they did.
Yeah.
But I think the current government kind of like handled this haphazardly, because right now they're not stupid. They know that the government is after us, and
yes,
all the evidence is being hidden right now.
Yeah, I know.
So the issue of them finding that money, if someone didn't invest in a landed property, is very, very difficult. Even America, Canada, like people are hiding their money in cryptocurrency, and once you buy it, you hide your money, you'll never find it. It's gone.
But
so for me, them recovering things is a lost cause. Let's just go ahead, forge ahead with our life, and find ways of improving our people's lives. It's a lost cause because I think they didn't have a thorough plan on how to handle this, and it's gonna come back and bite their behinds, because there's no plan. Nothing.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean, Brother Perry. It's an issue that needs to be done so that we can, like you said yourself, that we should enshrine this in the Constitution. So it should be an issue that should begin, at least, and this is the worst government we've ever had in the PF. So let's start it from here. Let's start it from here, that this audit should still be carried out, no matter whatever if we don't find the money, but that system should be in it, that now it has begun. Let it be put even in the Constitution that if we suspect anything that has been filed against the government, we should have a lifestyle audit. That's why everybody should declare their financial status before and after, so that we know that they've got into government with 1,000 kwacha, so they can't come out with $1 million, dollars, and So we need to have that general in place. But even the practice will be able to give us a need to see how these guys have spent their money. Most of them don't even know what cryptocurrency is. So most of these, they had sort of buying property, giving their relatives things. So I think I could say maybe half or 3/4 of these can be, found out wanting, because I don't think many have gone into cryptocurrency. So we can still trace that money back and, bring it back. So,
Mr. Mtonga, right now, I think we have to look, the benefit should outweigh the cost. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Right now, I think the cost of us recovering that money is much more than the benefit. So how do we do? What's the next step? The next step is us to fix the system going forward. Because right now it's a lost cause. They should just forget about it.
I don't think so. It's not a loss, because when you do the audit, it will give you a blueprint of what has happened. So what it is we are not going to use a lot of money on this. This is just the auditing of their lifestyle before and after. So we don't need to spend much money. Like, we're not going to go into the courts and all that to get money. What we'll need to look at is what have they got? How did they get it? And therefore we can get this and put it, take them as collateral for what they've done. Let them prove it. Some things we can be able to get. I know it's not a lost cause. I think it's a one thing that, and we can at least get them, though they've hidden the evidence, we can still get some of the things that they are holding on to. Therefore, we will, it's punishable. Even the law can take its course. They can, if you find them wanting. But just the property recovery of what they have used, what they have built, or who they gave their relatives, the taxman can prove it for us, and that will be easier in that case. Just to recover, even if we recover a quarter of it, it's worth a try. But we shouldn't spend the money to go to the law court and let lawyers benefit for.
Right. Let's listen to Brother Chiwe. I think he's got an interjection. Brother Chiwe.
I think PM point is not something which is new, because I've been hearing about having task force in our country. Because when we talk of lifestyle auditing, actually, we are asking of these guys to give an account of how they jumped from their previous financial status. Because these guys, it is so surprising. Somebody, honestly speaking, we know how much they get, and how much allowances they are given, but all of a sudden they are making things which are beyond their income. So I'm sure he's got a point. If the government can enforce this sort of beginning to take an audit on these civic leaders, especially the top leader, it is going to even
the network.
Other people are you able to? Are you getting me?
Barely. By the way, can you just also lift your phone, because it seems your phone is producing some sound. So you've placed it somewhere. There's like some bad static coming through.
Yeah, is anything
Am I clear
on
now?
TV or something?
No. You're having like bad static, like some very bad sound feedback. It's still there. You're clear, but you've got some other noise in the background. I don't know why. Like some generator is running or something.
Let me just switch off my cooler.
May I is that okay?
Right. Yeah, you can go on, Perry.
Yeah. So the most imperative thing that we are forgetting is that accounting is historical, right? So you can still go back and change figures in whatever you did, as long as you haven't passed those financial statements or financial reports to the auditors. So the reason I'm saying that we should forget about whatever transpired is people can cook numbers. It's easy to do that, and everything is. You can still balance with the wrong numbers, So right now, the best thing is for us to protect the citizens of Zambia going forward. Us looking backwards, the time that has elapsed is a long time for people to cook those numbers, and it's not going to yield anything. How long is it going to take for them to arrest people? How long has it taken?
Yes, yes, Brother Chiwe, but still, it's still, there's something wrong with your device.
Because auditing is not something that can be complicated when it comes to bring these guys to task. It is a very simple thing, because they have to declare.
My brother Chiwe, please.
Hello.
Namkwata icon is your icon on? Is your icon on? It's off. Okay. Okay. Okay, thank you.
Some sound?
Yes, there's when you're talking, there's this unbearable sound which is like destroying our ears. Can you use headsets if you've got headsets? That would be better. Because you don't fika sana like what's for electricity voltage, it's pretty bad. So if you've got headsets, that would help us. But anyway, while Brother Jason fixes the audio, Brother Emmanuel, are you there? Tiki is here. Brother Emmanuel, what's your opinion on the auditing?
You see, the lifestyle audit, it is a welcome if Bizwell Mutale really meant or means what he is saying. But again, other people have got so different feelings that you find maybe most of these things would have been hidden. But the truth of the matter, information is coming from the people. There are so many people who have information about these guys who have been in government. So many information. What they just want is an opportunity, the time that they are able to bring out this information. This afternoon, I was trying to watch a video where the spokesperson for UPND, Honorable Cornelius Mwetwa, was trying to counterattack the allegations which were said by this binoculars man, Nakachinda. In his statement, he said clearly that very soon you start seeing people being taken to court. There is something which is happening. There's something which is going on. So the lifestyle audit, it's a welcome and it should be done. Even if people would have hidden this into the whatever system of currencies, the cryptocurrencies. But the truth of the matter, information is still there. And people have got this information. And the lifestyle audit will help. And it will also send a signal or a lesson to the current government, to the current MPs, to the current ministers, to know that in near future, they will also face the same. We need to put a mechanism in place to avoid the occurrence of what used to happen in the future, what used to happen previously, so that these who are there right now, they are able to learn one or two things. Already we have started hearing about 4 ministers, what involved in corruption, which these who are bringing information are not justifying, are not reporting to the investigative wings. So Bizwell Mutale, he knows what he's talking about. He's not just saying it from without. To me, I support that lifestyle audit. Let it be done. Now, we don't know if the Auditor General will be able to carry out that, depending, depending on the letter from Bizwell Mutale. Because Bizwell Mutale is just an individual, a member of a political party. Has the political party given the blessing of allowing this Auditor General to carry out this lifestyle audit, or maybe it's just a mandatory thing that each and everyone has to be audited? That is my question.
How can a thief tell you when to investigate himself? Gentlemen, let's be serious. Let's be serious. Come on, thank you.
That's true.
All right, Brother Chiwe, have you fixed your audio?
Testing 1, 2. Is the echo still being produced there?
Gentlemen, help me answer this question.
That's a bit better. But you can still hear the sound a bit, but your voice is louder than the sound.
It is still there.
Yes, so what you can do tomorrow, Brother Chiwe, just use headsets. It makes this way easier. Headsets with the mic.
It it's a pity that I can't contribute on this issue, being a businessman on this issue of
okay, we allow you. We are going to be patient with you. Please, 1 minute.
Yes,
okay,
1 minute.
Thank you so much, brother Oscar. Yeah, because if we just show for this issue like in the ground, it is going to be an encouraging factor. Actually, I've been following the political move of our country. I'm sure this thing that BM is talking about is not something new. It was actually done in the period of Kaunda era. That's why you discover that one of the cabinet members, the poorest cabinet, those people who served in the Kaunda area, because there were some boundaries to say, as a minister or as an MP, you cannot acquire wealth up to that level. That helped those guys to operate with integrity and also to operate with fear. Now, the way it came, it was like open, whereby somebody gets a 2-pin, you build the mansion of 200 million. How can you explain that? It doesn't make sense. And that in itself, it shows clearly to say there is something fishy that is happening. So BM has a point. Like Brother Matthews was saying, he was just a pauper. Just after 5 years, you see somebody parking about 7 vehicles, Payadi, na Chipoti, na Kwatane Chitere Chankoko, about almost Katuishile from Wikafiranda. But if you begin to analyze and evaluate his income, nama cash flow yakwe, tafile panga sense file sana. So I'm sure this thing, it has to be effected and it has to be compulsory. Like Bakeke achieved this. It was there. It was there. Senior civic leaders were subject to lifestyle audit. So that actually, as they say, they will have that in their conscience to say, if I do this and that, I'm sure it won't even make sense. Mwalasangama guys, if we say let us avoid these guys, you hear, that's why you hear ministers engage Kukama contract. Instead of contracts being given to other people, you hear MPs are owning Utuma companies. But if this issue becomes serious, then it is going to discourage these guys actually to embezzle the national funds. I think that's what I wanted to submit. I'm in support of BM. He knows what he's talking about. It is something new which is going to happen in the era of Kaunda. This thing was there and it was attainable. Even though we can, if we are talking of recovery and restoring the economy. Thank you so much.
All right. Okay. So let's pass it over to Tiki. Tiki, 2 minutes maximum, but preferably 1 minute. Then we conclude. Everybody gives their concluding remarks with regards to anything they want to talk about, so we can close, because we need to close in about 15 minutes. So let's just make it quick. Tiki.
All right. Good evening, Muna, and good evening, fellow panelists, and good evening, Zambia. I think a quick take on lifestyle audit. I think as a country, let us start uplifting one another and let us give credit to where it's due. Okay. And I say so because I think Bizwell is trying to come out as a hero by bringing up this issue, and yet it's not something that started with Bizwell. Okay, if we remember the UPND then in opposition spoke about this issue, and I think they did try to champion that move in Parliament. Okay, and this is something that they talked about. They fought so hard to bring to the attention of the Zambian people, and I think now that they're in power, we need to remind them of this topic so that they can do the necessary, because now they're in power. Okay, now we need to see these motions being taken to Parliament. And this is the thing, we need to be very careful with these PF guys, because these are the same people that terrorized us. Bizwell is among the people that actually preached tribalism. Okay, he said a lot of unmentionables over people of Southern Province. Okay, these are things we can't forget, we can't dispute, and they shouldn't come out as heroes because now they want to pretend to speak for the people. Okay, we welcome that move, yes, but it's not something new. It's something the UPND in opposition brought out, and they brought and they spoke very strongly about. Okay, and it would be a good thing now that it's the beginning of their term in office. It would be a good thing to push and have a law that guides the country and gives power to lifestyle audit of these public servants before perhaps the same UPND ministers get too comfortable to a point where they forget about it, because some of them may get themselves involved in corruption and wouldn't want to support the move to have their lives audited. So the earlier the better we move and push for these decisions to be made by this current government. I think right now at the beginning of the term is the best time for us to push and remind the government of these very important aspects of our Zambian life. Okay, yeah, and secondly, the witchcraft.
Now, if we get into witchcraft, it will be very long. But summarize, because you're in here. 90 seconds maximum.
Yeah, if we remember what Siawan used to say about the Patriotic Front government officials, I think with that statement coming from court, from an ACC officer giving their testimony, I think it should give the Zambian people exactly what these leaders get themselves into. And I think this is not the type of leadership we want in Zambia. This is not the type of leadership we should embrace and support and champion. But us being a Christian nation, let us uphold these Christian values, Mwebantu. Okay, we may not all be Christians, okay, but I think for us to have a sober direction from our leaders, we need leaders that are not idol worshippers, okay, that are not idol worshippers, because we always pray to God. We have a government that came up with National Day of Prayer. But if we look at their lives individually, we find all these funny traditional halabalus, okay? But I think in our quest to choose leaders, let us not choose leaders for the sake of fame, for the sake of their family name, for the sake of the money they have, but let us scrutinize our candidates and vote wisely, okay? We will continue to preach this aspect of voting wisely so that we do not have a repeat of leaders or parliamentarians like the Bowman Lusambos, okay? That MP from Sinda, okay? The likes of Tutwangulube that oppose different views and want to threaten the breaking of bonds of youths that want to protest peacefully, okay? Yes, so yeah, I think I'll end there before I get emotional.
No, passionate. I think we misuse the word emotional on this platform. I think passionate is what we experience, because emotional, we become passionate.
Yeah, right.
So anyway, gentlemen, let us conclude now. Let's not be long-winded. So quick conclusion. Anything you want to talk about, you've got 90 seconds. Conclude. Perry?
Yeah, this is just a question to everyone on the panel. So let's say Perry was an MP during PF, right? And then I, managed to gather unexplainable wealth. And then I sell those properties right now and hide the cash. What happens to the cash and to someone who bought the property? Let's say I store money during the time of PF, and then I sell the property to you. Now you're clean, you have the money, and then you can explain your wealth. And and then I have the cash. What happens to you? And
all right, gentlemen, who can answer that? Yes,
can I try
Brother
that?
Matthew, very fast, please.
Like, all right, I'll conclude also. So, brother, whoever is done that, you know, people have, like my brother just said, there are people who have information. They know every building in Zambia who is building and who is doing that. And if they sell, the ones they've sold to, it's easy to find out who sold you the house. What is this? So that's very easy to find out.
It's very easy. So, I have the money, and then when you come to arrest me, I don't have the money. I say I don't have it.
Well, you'll have to own up because that's when the law comes in.
It's
because you are guilty already.
The time has elapsed.
No, it's not about time lapse. So it has to be.
Brother Jason, how can you answer that one?
It is not something that can be complicated. When you talk of somebody, you own a property, then you tell. There is actually a that is attached to property. It is not just like you just buy a t-shirt from Saliva. We are talking to person say, how come the minister chief and especially that they are in a period of transition. And you know, there cannot be questioned there and then. That's why we are saying there are a lot of people with information. When we begin to hold these people accountable, there will be individuals, there will be authorities actually, because you know, when you begin to investigate on somebody, there are a lot of what the government wings that are involved. They need to visit the right. We need to check on the tax whatever of this individual. They go to local government. They go to government. How many properties does he own? That's why me I always question to say, I'm a property, I'm a property. Don't they see that I'm approach? Don't they question that? So it's not something that is complicated. You know, somebody cannot say I don't have money. Where have you taken that money? Because no, if it is serious money, there is no way we can transact. If you know, this time around they say, no, if it is me who is buying a property, we need to transact through a bank. And you know, in any bank, at the same time, I can even be a witness to testify to say, this is what is happening. We go to local council, we go to ZRA, so that at least things are done in a manner which is protective to both ends, to both parties who are involved in that transaction. And just to conclude, we just want to actually come out on this issue of mathematics. You know, it is something actually that has been put on the record. You know, we Zambians we are too much pretending. We are claiming to say Zambia is a Christian nation, but you look at the acts. You know, Christianity is a way of life. And actually, people are not convinced by what you say. They are convinced by what they are able to see about your life. Yeah? One man was asking, said he went to preach to an Indian about Jesus. Then he asked him to say, what can I see about you which Jesus has done? Nothing. Let's go. I show you God. This God has done me this. This God has done me this. So, in order for us to say we are a Christian nation, we are asking the government strongly. Let us start by discouraging, by stopping. This is the so-called tuma posters, twanganga. You know, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. Tuma posters, twanganga all over. But we claim we are a Christian nation. That's why people think, I'm guys are but behind the back, you heard what one was actually saying about Zambia. the guys are this kind. So let us discourage this thing. It shouldn't continue. Zambia is a Christian nation. Zambia actually needs people to go to develop, to expand. And otherwise, if we hold on to this primitive way of living, we are not going to see our country coming out of jackals. Thank you so much. I submit.
All right. Thank you. Have a good night. We'll be back tomorrow at 20 hours. Brother Oscar, give us your concluding remarks. 90 seconds. Anything you want to talk about. And then you can also say your goodbye.
Okay. Thank you so much. I think it has been a very lovely evening. Wonderful, very, very, very interesting topics we've talked about. And I would say about the possibility of auditing the PF and all those things. I think it is already late. To be realistic, it's very late. These things were supposed to be done maybe in the first 30 days, and they could have got good results. At the moment, whatever results can be achieved will be relative. It's just a relative result. These people, they have already changed. Just gentlemen, just think of the declaration of the wealth of Tasila Lungu. Just think of that. Then it explains to you what is behind 6,000, 6 million, I don't know, 6 million kwacha. It's incredible. We know the stories in South Africa. We know the stories of Dubai. These people, they think that they are hidden. We have people, we have friends in these areas. So we know very much. So, well. It's late. It's late. Like I think some of my friends they talked about it. I think my position is this: it's late, or it's already late to recover a lot of resources or to catch these guys with their unlawful business. But we can even block them. We can block them, not for today, but even for the future. When you have people who are suspected, we can ask the president, don't give them contracts. He has been a suspect. Don't give them a contract. Let them enjoy the money they have made. I'm telling you, the money that you steal, it evaporates very, very fast, very fast. Now, these people, if we've blocked them for the future, let them not have any contracts in the future. We have now from 1 million to 35 million kwacha CDF. Let these guys be pushed away. Don't bring them closer. That is the way the Zambia is going to achieve. Our president, the motion, the steps that our president took of taking time. No, I'm going to be this and that and that. Well, we have lost a lot of things. If our president wanted to be very effective, he was going to order. I suggested let him order the paramilitary. Let them go to houses of ex-members of PF and search the way the police, the PF police went to search in HH's house, HH's grandmother, HH's relatives. The way they went to search, they would have done that in 24 hours, all countrywide, and we are going to catch them. Now, I think it's very difficult to catch them, really. It's very difficult to catch them. So, Zambians, let's look forward. We look forward. Let's get rid of Indochina, Papa. Get rid of those things. They are useless things. They don't pull us. Let's go for education, and the chats like this on the social network. They are very useful Thank you very much, Mr. Muna, and thank you very much all the panel, and good night.
Before you go, brother Oscar, where are you? What location is that? Problem weba kulwa pula kustuderanda na abantu kanshi ya elevating.
Inandi hospital, ndabomba hospital, mona, ndabomba hospital, ndebomba.
Okay.
Ndebomba. Ndebomba
we
in the
saw the dark
hospital.
background.
Ine
We saw
shirindo
the dark background.
shinakanina. Na
Kanshi mlianda na abantu kanshi bali pa job.
fumira fe panse, na fuma fe panse.
All right, I'm just playing.
Dipa job ine.
All right. Have a great one. So see you tomorrow. Enjoy your work. Okay. Let's pass it over to whoever is willing to go first. Tiki or Perry. Who wants to go first? Perry, I see you're ready. Then give us your concluding remarks. Then we wind it up.
What I'll say, Mona, is that the PF or the UPND, or let's just say the current government, never handle this issue with the astuteness that it deserves. The money is not there; it's gone. And right now, the most imperative thing is to prevent the damage going forward. So that's all I can say. Let's just forget about whatever happened. As I said, the cost of us.
Brother Perry, are you a beneficiary of whatever happened? Just kidding.
My hands are clean, but the problem is that, no. The thing is that the way the ruling government was just so slow in fixing all those lacunas, and then those guys they're gone. It's like you're trying to trap a rat which is in the house and it's outside the yard, and that's it. That's it. So what I'm saying is that the government is going to spend more money in trying to get these guys to book. The most important thing is for us to fix this thing going forward. Let's enshrine, the audits in the constitution, and then what else did I want to say? As I said, the most important thing is let's think of putting a stopgap to this going forward, and then make sure that the president pretty much leads by example, and then forces his people as well to lead by example. That's it, because you cannot just say let's go back and fix this thing, and by the time they'll be done with this thing, it'll be time to vote. So let's just go ahead and look at the most important thing of looking after our citizens. That's all.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Thank you. So see you tomorrow if you're going to be available. Thank you very much. Have a great night, great evening. Kumakana Doko, enjoy.
Yeah, I'm still in the office. I'm still working, so I still have about 3 more hours to go. So.
All right. Okay, but we need to conclude. So anyway, Brother Tiki, give us your concluding remarks. Feel free to let it all out. Just be very quick, because we need to close the shop.
All right. I think Brother Muna, there's need for us to have wall fences, okay, that deter us from going against what is expected of us, okay, from going against what society expects from us, from going against what the law expects from us. Okay, so for me, I would prefer we pursue these criminals to the latter end. Okay, we know the things they've stolen, we know the things they're investing into, because these guys are not fantasy, okay, and these stories are not fiction, but these are things we see in our communities, okay, and we'll be doing ourselves a favor as Zambia if those that have information quickly come forward, inform the relevant authorities, reach out to the nearest person you know may be able to bring the information forward. If you're not confident enough, please, we have people we know that are able to pursue this matter, present this matter to the relevant authorities, so that we do not have continuation of this behavior, continuation of this criminality, okay, of this reaping from our economy, reaping from our resources, from selfish individuals, okay? So for me, I would prefer the youth, okay? The youth organize themselves, and make sure that we speak one voice in making sure that these things are attended to. Okay, we have our representatives in parliament. Let us speak to them. Let us reach out to our civic leaders. We have our councillors. Okay, let us present these cases so that eventually they come forward. When you have information, reach out to these civic leaders so that eventually parliament gets to act on these things, the police get to act on these things, the courts give us the necessary rulings on these matters. Okay, otherwise we'll be leaving our country to chancers that just want to come and rip and get away with it. Okay, but for me, I think it's not too late to recover. Whatever we can recover, let the country recover, because at the end of the day, that is the healing that Zambians are looking forward to, because of the damage that was caused by the Patriotic Front. Seeing these people being visited by the law, seeing justice prevail, I think is what will bring healing to most of us as citizens. And I think this is something that will remind us whenever we aspire for public office, to say there are consequences when you go against the law. There are consequences when you want to use the encouragement from one former president, Edgar Chagwalungu, who said, okay, that should resonate from one's hard work, not stealing from the people of Zambia. Okay, and finally, I think we need to give the president and the UPND government also time to continue settling and getting things in order. Remember, human resources is still not complete in most of these government departments. Let us give the president the time. I know he's not a president who is seated. I think we've seen how hardworking he is, fighting hard to bring to normalize our economic situation, fighting so hard to market our country, and I think he's doing a very good job at it. Okay, and we think to promote that, we need to encourage him to continue doing so. And I know all these atrocities that were performed under the Patriotic Front, the law is not sleeping. Okay, it's not the UPND government to pursue these people, but the law. Remember, they were breaking the law. They were going against the Constitution. Therefore, the law is not blind and deaf. The law will definitely visit them. I know there was interference under the PF government from most of these government departments, the police, ACC, DEC. We know that people were not working independently because of fear. Okay, because of fear. Under PF, it wasn't easy to do your job when you're
Tiki's internet should have done something that we do not endorse. So while we're waiting for him, Brother Moses, welcome to the show. Kindly conclude. You know, I do not mean to be rude, but we need to close. So just be quick with your conclusion.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening, Brother Moses.
Yeah, although network was not good.
Which network are you using? MTN or Airtel?
MTN.
MTN, because sometimes people complain about Airtel, and sometimes people also complain about MTN. Which one is the best network for streaming and video, live chats?
I think maybe Zamtel.
Zamtel. Why don't you migrate to Zamtel?
I will, as days goes on.
All right. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I'll start from the ACC. Nikwisa kudia our former spokesperson to the president, Amos Chanda. I think ACC need to be professional and should act up to the task. They should act like soldiers. Wherever soldiers they are given a mission to go, they go, do or die. Even them, they have got mandate to do that. They cannot make pretense as if they are not professional. Let somebody being directed what to do. No, we say no to that. Coming to the issue of witchcraft, I agree that witchcraft is there. Being a Christian today, before we are born to be Christian, there have been some practical which has been happening previously, to our forefathers. And if you remember very well, maybe they even used to worship under the tree, whatever. But Jesus came to show us the light. As I'm talking, I'm the believer in Christ Jesus. Some, we just pretend to be church goers without knowing where your faith is. So this, we need to share with our fellows in Zambia, the whole entire Zambia, to know Jesus. I know there are many congregations, whatever, different faith, types of faith, but Zambia is a Christian nation, and most of the Zambian, we need to understand this. A credit or a merit, we are having readers who put God's first, starting from the P1 and the P2, which is the first, and the president and the vice president. We are God-fearing. And we are being read, which can be the example to the nation. Even in some other institution, be it police, soldiers, whatever, there are reverence there. We need to believe in Jesus Christ as our Lord and Savior, who died for our sins. Let us do things in involvement of God. Then we are going to achieve whatever we want. Because if really, among those who went there to say they were a Christian cannot resist to say, no, let's follow what this is directing. You cannot allow evil to direct you and obey. No. I say no to that. I concur with my brother Jason, whatever he was saying on the panel there. Yes, a Christian doesn't fear anything. A Christian stands just like following what the steps of Jesus Christ, the steps of apostles like Paul, Peter, and others, just to mention the few. That's how it should be. Coming to the issue of corruption in Zambia. I heard Mr. Matthews, Brother Matthews there, and the other brother saying, no, it's too late. No, it's not too late. Just because maybe when the president declares of reprinting maybe another money for Zambia, it is a cost for this nation. So he has decided just to continue with the same money which maybe Sata printed when he won. He changed the government, which is good, but there must be some measures which the government is going to take or undertaking now, which is looking like slow, but not slow. They are taking action accordingly, and really we are going to retrieve this money from these criminals. Our money is coming back, the money of the people of Zambia, not the people of a Krieg or thieves, no. And I always emphasize these readers. Wherever you are standing to be a councillor, a mayor, an MP, president, whatever, let these people have the heart, love the people of Zambia first. When you have the love in your heart, whatever you be acting, whatever you be doing, be it publicly, maybe in the churches, in the community, whatever organization, prudent will be there. That's what we want to do. Not just going there because of you want to earn something for your living. No. Let us have the heart. The way we provide for our families, the word family might be limited, but it goes on, including even our friends, even our neighbors. Those are family members, because sometimes I may leave, just like you, Mr. Muna, you may leave from Western to somewhere there, where even maybe you have got only you with your young brother or young sister. But when something happens, the first people to come are those surrounding you, who is the neighbor. So we need to understand this. It's too much. We have that art of loving just because I'm Moses, everything what I'm looking for should be for Moses. No, we need to change from that culture. Let us improve. I think I rest my case.
Definitely. Now, Brother Moses, Say goodbye to the viewers. So you close on our behalf. It's you who's closing the show today. Then we'll close the broadcast. So let me even increase you. So close the show now.
Thank you very much for that opportunity. May God bless. To my viewers, my fellow countrymen in this Zambian diasporas, panelists, it is important, and I support you, my brother Muna, that the plan you had, which has been today, to bring fruitful, so that even us and other people have got good ideas, we can share and educate one another through this platform. May you continue. I know people come behind the no, if you reach whatever, so if you know, we need patriotic Zambians. We need to change where we have been sidelined, shattered, but today we are coming up. And remember that it's modern world as we are talking today. Let every Zambian, every youth, every father or woman have access to this platform and speak out things which is going to help Zambia. Bali abambya bali shishi benga ni kumwinirunga kukaputa kwisa muli omwe akwebati ni mu matororo. Limbi umuntu umona ngo babiri kuti baumfwa nga baumfwa, they will go and explain to other people there in the village. They will get the information. This is what we need to do. Mukupeshako kwa kwebati. We are Christian as Zambian. Let us do things in involvement of God. Lesa abe kuntanshikulifu muri fyonse turechita. Ne fintu fyonse fikaba bwino. Nangu nyuto tupuro shitre umfwa ni finshi tapale fo finga. As long as you believe truly in Jesus our Lord and Savior, nishi fintu fili wino. This is my contribution, sir.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. How do you say thank you very much in Kaonde? Vulongotu.
Twasanta mwani wonse.
Kuma solowezi mabangoko. Enjoy your night, Moses. Have a great night. Thank you for that conclusive conclusion. Thank you. See you tomorrow. Have a great night, everybody. Goodbye and good night.
Thank you very much.